Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to cover PySpark in a one video. We are going to cover PySpark from a basic to advanced level. We are going to see how we can create a data frame by using a PySpark, how we use a RDD, how we can use a Spark SQL, how we use a Spark MLlib for the machine learning purpose. So everything we are going to see from a basic to advanced level. The agenda of this video is like first we are going to start with what is PySpark. We will understand why PySpark and why most of the company are using PySpark. After that, we will see the architecture and a business use case where actually we use a PySpark and what kind of the problem actually we solve it. After that, we will see the Databricks installation and overview of the workspace because most of the company are using a Databricks, so that's why I have included Databricks here. And in the Databricks only, we will practice all the PySpark and everything. After that, we will see the PySpark RDD, how we use RDD, and after that, we will see the data frame parts creation and all. Because most of the work you will do with the help of the data frame only, so we will mostly focus on the data frame part compared to the RDD because RDD nowadays no one is using, so that's why we will not much focus on the RDD, but we will see the basic. Okay, after that we will start with the Spark SQL, and after that we will see how you can use a machine learning library in the Spark. So Spark ML lib is also available, so everything we will cover. So don't forget to subscribe my channel and stay tuned. Now let's start with the PySpark. So before starting a PySpark, first we should understand the Spark. So as Spark itself is a very huge topic, so let me give you a high level idea what is Spark and why actually most of the company is using a Spark. So if we talk about the Spark, first we should understand the big data. As we know, like most of the company nowadays are generating huge amount of data. If we'll talk take an example of the social media website, if we'll take an example of the WhatsApp, if we'll take an example of the Facebook, so every time whatever the activity we are doing, it is generating a huge amount of data, and most of the company are tracking all the activity whatever the users are doing. Suppose you are clicking on the any application, you are sending a message, you are receiving a message. So for everything, they are generating huge amount of data. They are doing a campaigning, so for campaigning also we are getting a data. So most of the time we are generating a huge amount of data. So if we say like if we are generating a huge amount of data, so we also think about like how we can process that data. So for processing the data, we actually use a Spark because if we talk about the single system, the local system can only handle the small data. Like if you have a 1 GB data, 2 GB data, 3 GB data. But suppose nowadays everyone is generating huge amount of data. So how actually we can handle that many data? Suppose we are getting a 128 GB data, 256 GB of data, that kind of the data we are receiving. So in that kind of the scenario, the Spark actually help. It actually try to process that amount of the data by using a distributed environment. We use a distributed system where we actually try to combine a multiple system, and based on that actually we try to process. So Spark, as we have got some idea about the Spark for the distributing system, how we can use a huge amount of the data processing and all. Now let's understand the PySpark. As we all know, like Python is like very easy, and we have so many libraries are also available in a Python. And most of the data analytics and data scientist people are well versed with Python. So PySpark was very good for the community because it made our life very easy. We can use to process huge amount of data. We can use our Python language and with the Spark. So it is nothing but it is a collaboration between the Python and the Apache Spark. It not only allows you to write a Spark application using Python API, but also provide you the PySpark shell for the interactive analyzing your data into a distributed environment. Anyway, in this video we will see like how we can use a Databricks, that is also a web-based API where actually we can use PySpark. So for the practicing purpose we will see the Databricks. but in the next video we will see like the in architecture wise how we can use a PySpark. Okay, coming to the ecosystem part, in a Spark we get a Spark SQL. Similarly, we can use a Spark SQL for processing a huge amount of data. If you already know the SQL, the same kind of the query you can write, you can create a data frame out of it, and you can process the huge amount of the data. So we have a Spark SQL that actually we will see how we can use a Spark SQL. If you want to process a streaming kind of the data, for that also we have a Spark streaming, and we have a huge kind of the library also available for the machine learning. So for the Spark ML we have a library available, so that we can use how we can use a pipeline and all that actually we'll see into later in the practice. Now let's try to understand the business architecture and the use case, where actually we can use a PySpark and the Spark SQL, which we are going to learn. So where actually in real time, where actually we use a PySpark and SQL. So this is the thing we are going to see in this video. So suppose you have a business application. Okay, I have a business application, and I am using a IoT sensor kind of the device, which is generating a huge amount of the data in a daily basis, in a time basis, in a every minute it is generating huge amount of the data. So mostly what actually happen is like, first we try to ingest the data and we want to store somewhere. So that is the first step. We actually, you are getting a data, you just want to ingest and you want to store into a common space. That is the first step. So suppose this business application is IoT is generating huge amount of data. So how actually you will store into a particular location? So for that, what actually we mostly we use is like, we can use a Kafka, we can use a Event Hub. These are the with the help of the Kafka, it will try to get the real time data. Once you get the data real time, you will store into a data lake, and it will try to push into a data lake. Okay, you are generating huge amount of data. Suppose you have a platform like where social media kind of the platform, where every user activity, if the user is clicking somewhere, if user is messaging, if user is getting a message, if user is liking, if user is subscribing, for everything we try to get the data. If the user is active or not, if user is sending any kind of the heartbeat. So for that, every time we try to get the data, and once we have a data, if the user is generating a data, we try to get the real time data with the help of the Kafka, and we try to push into a data lake. Once we get the data in a data lake, generally this data is not in a proper format, it is an unstructured kind of the data. Now the next step is like, we want to get the meaningful data from it, and how we can get the meaningful data by using a preparation and the cleaning. So next step comes into the picture, that is the Databricks. Either you can use a Databricks or any cleaning application and all. In this video actually we are going to use a Databricks, that's why I am using a Databricks. So in a Databricks you can use your PySpark. Either you can use a PySpark, you can use a Spark SQL, and even if you want to go through the machine learning kind of the prediction, you can use the ML also. Now what actually we try to do into the Databricks and this environment is like, we try to clean the data, we try to get the meaningful information from that data. Suppose you want to get the information like how many users are active into the particular month, or how many users are actually subscribing my channel. If you are getting this kind of the information, if you want to get, so for that, in a data lake you will be having unstructured kind of the data. So from there actually you will try to create a, you will try to clean it, and you will try to create a structure kind of the data, and you want to, and after that you will try to store somewhere. Not store, or you can say like if you are creating any kind of the reporting table, so that you can do analytics on the top of it. So that is the overview architecture. Generally in the all the cases, this kind of the architecture you will get to see, where you will be having application who are generating data from the real time. Either you can go with the Kafka event hub. From there actually you will try to store into a data lake, and after that you will try to clean it, and after that you will try to do a reporting on the top of it by using a Power BI and Tableau, or either based on the historical data you can do up some kind of the prediction. So that is the business architecture generally we get to see in a real time. We are going to see how we can use the Azure Databricks Community Editions. To get the Azure Databricks Community Edition, you have to go into the Google. You have to type Databricks. You have to go into the databricks.com. Let me type Databricks. So after that, this is the one, the databricks.com. Here you have to click. Once you will click, this is a particular screen will come, and here you have to give your name. Okay. Once you will fill this, once you will fill this, you have to click on Get Started for free. After that, this particular screen will come. So this is nothing but this is the collaborated with Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google platform. If you want to use with that, it will charge you. Okay, but we are going to use a community edition that is free. If you will see in the bottom, it is showing like Get Started with the Community Edition. Click on that. Now after that, it will ask for the verification. Okay, once you will do the verification, it will send an email to your Gmail account. After that you have to log in. Okay, so that is a simple step which we have found. Once you log in, you will end up to this particular screen. This is a Databricks screen, and most of the work which we are going to do here only. Okay, now if you will see into left side, there is one Databricks icon, and the below that you can see data science and engineering and machine learning. So the for separate data science engineering team we can give a this access, and for the machine learning team we can give a this access. Okay, now in the bottom if you see here, it is showing like create. Once you will click on the create button, you can see you can create a notebook, table, and cluster from here itself. So if you want to create any kind of the notebook, you have to click on the notebook, and the notebook will be created. We will see into later how we can create. Okay, in the bottom you can see the workspace. Okay, and so this is the first screen. Okay, in the workspace you will get to see the shared and the users will be like in your company, so many users will be there who are using this Databricks. So all the user will be shown into the users, and shared will be like if you are created any kind of the notebook which you want to put into a shared location so that everyone can look. So for that actually we will use a shared. If you will click on the shared, you will go here. If you will click here, there is one option like create, so that you can create a notebook, library, folder, ML flow, any kind. Okay, the similarly for the user also you can do it. Go here, click click on the create. You can create a notebook, library, folder, and all. Okay, so that is the use of the workspace. Now next is the recent. So whatever the kind of the recent activity you are doing, so everything will be shown here. If you are working on the particular notebook, so that a recent activity will be shown here. Okay, after that search, here actually you can search the workspace and all. Okay, the next is the data. So whatever the database you will be having, so all the database will be shown here. In company usually we have so many database and so many tables, so every table and database will be shown here. So you can go to the data, you can go to the database, and you can select to the table. Okay, after that the compute option will come. in the compute option, what actually we can do is like we can create a cluster. So uh, what actually we have to do is like we just have to click on the create cluster. Yeah, we have to give the name of the cluster, you see one, and this is the option you can see, and this is the free 15 GB memory which they are providing, and this is available only for the 2 hours. Okay, after that you just have to click on the create cluster. As of now it is not showing for me because I already have created a cluster. Okay, now let's create a one notebook. Once you will click on the notebook, you have to give the name of the notebook. Okay, and if you see in the language, it is option showing like Python, Scala, SQL and R. Based on the your requirement you can select any language. As of now I am selecting as a Python, and after that we have to select the cluster. Whatever the cluster we have created, that cluster we have to select. Click on the create. So if you see, this actually look like the Python notebook, the Jupyter notebook. How actually in Jupyter we work, it looks similarly to that. Okay, now if you see here actually all your cluster will be shown. In generally company you can have a multiple cluster, so on which cluster you will have access, that cluster you have to select. After that the file, if you want to create a new notebook, if you want to clone, everything you can do from here. And here we have an option like the replace, delete cell. These are kind of the options are available here. And here if you see in the right side, revision history, so whatever the changes you will do into particular notebook, all the revision of the particular notebook will be stored here, and so that you can revise your history also. So that is very useful. And after that, this notebook actually you can publish also and you can share also. As of now we are using a community edition, that's why all the options are not shown, but most of the options are shown here. Okay, now here creating a data frame using a PySpark. So we will see like first how to upload a files and read it, like in a Jupyter notebook and in a local system, how actually we read a data frame and all, how we create a data frame. Similarly in a PySpark, how actually we do that, actually we will see first. And after that we will see like how to create a data frame and read it through a dbfs. Okay, like in distributed file system, if you have a file and if you want to read and if you want to create a data frame, how you will do that, actually that also we will see. And after that we will see like how to create a table using a web UI in a Databricks. And after that we will see like how we can create a data frame using a manually. Okay, let me open a Databricks. So once you will log into the Databricks, this is the first screen which you will be able to see. Okay, now if you will click on the left side, you can see you have a Databricks icon, and after that you have a create button. In a create you can create a notebook, table and a cluster. Okay, after that you have a workspace where actually it will show all the files on which you are working. After that the recent, and after that it will show the workspace which you can search. After that the third option is a data. Okay, and next is the compute. In a compute, we you have to create a cluster. How we can create a cluster, first we will see. Because before starting any project we first have to create a cluster. We have to click on the create cluster, we have to give the name of the cluster name, and after that we have to select the runtime. By default whatever is there, I am selecting that because it is a Spark 3.2.1 which I am going to use. And generally it provide a free 15 GB memory, and it will be applicable only for the 2 hours, that we have to remember. Okay, and after that we just have to click on the create cluster. It is not showing for me because I already created a cluster, and one cluster only you create at one time. Okay, once you will create cluster, this will show as a cluster. You can see the runtime of the 10.4, active memory is 15 GB, active core is 2 core. Because we are using a community version, that's why this restriction is there. But in real time you can manage this based on the user usage and all. Okay, now let's see how you can upload the data. Once you will click on this data, right, by default this default database is coming. Okay, now after that you can see like we have option of the create table. Once you will click on this create table, This particular screen will come. Here actually it is saying like upload file. Okay, means if you want to upload any kind of the file, this is the option. After that it is indicating the dvs target directory where actually the file is getting uploaded. So through this actually we can get a location, and if you want to give any kind of the location you can create here. But this is a particular location, file store tables. Okay, and and in the bottom if you see drop files to upload. So let's try to first upload one file and then we will see. Okay, so if I will click on this click. Okay, in a desktop I have a one employee file. Okay, before opening that let me show you how the files look like. So this is the file which I am going to upload. It contain a username, salary, location, date and attendance. Okay, I'll close that and let me try to upload it. Click on this click to browse. It is available in a desktop, and go to the employee, open it. Okay, this is uploaded successfully, and if you can see it is uploaded to this particular location. Okay, just copy this, and this is how you can upload a file. Now if you see the another option is like you can see s3. So suppose you have mounted your file location is s3, and there actually the file is there. So from there itself you can create a table with the help of the ui, also with the help of the notebook. You just need a aws key for the create table, and through this actually we can create a table. The next option is a dbfs. If you see we already uploaded a file, right? The location was a file store tables and then the employee.csv. This is the particular location, and these are the files which are available in this particular location which I have uploaded till date. So you will get to know like the file location and all from here, and from user also. If you want to have any kind of warehouse where actually the file is there, that also you'll get to know. The other data sources, if you have like Amazon Redshifts, and through that if you want to connect and you want to create a table, that also is possible here. If you can see you have a different kind of the option like Amazon Kinesis, Cassandra, Snowflake, JDBC, Kafka, Redis, Elasticsearch and all. As of now we have uploaded one file, right? Now if you will click on this create button, click on the notebook. Now let's give the one notebook name employee test. For the PySpark, by default the language is like we have Python, Scala, SQL and R. But for PySpark we are going to learn. So first we will select the Python, and after that we have to select the cluster. Click on the create. Once you will click, this particular window will come. Okay, let me zoom in. Okay, and now you can see this is here all your cluster will be shown, whatever the cluster you have. And here you can create a new notebook and you can edit replace things and all. And if you want to run all the notebooks, here we have option, and even if you want to clear it, that also is there. Now we have created one we have uploaded one file, right? And if you want to read that file, how you can do? So what I am doing, I am creating one data frame, giving name as a df. We just have to give the spark dot read and that file location. Okay, forgot to give csv. Okay, you can see the job is now successful. Now if you will just click df, it will just show you the what actually it contains. You can see C0 string, C1 string, C2 string. It is created by default the C0, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 kind of the column. And if you really want to see how actually it looks like, if you will do df.so, now you can see this is a particular file which I have uploaded, right? This is how you can upload a file and you can read it through a file location. And if you want to see columns name, that also you can do it df.column. So that is how the one way where actually you can do it, and you can create a file. Now let's see, this is like we have a file, and if you want to read, that is how actually we do. Now suppose you want to create a table. Okay, go to this tab data, click on the create table, upload a file, the same file we are going to upload, employee, create table with UI. Click on that, select cluster, click on the preview table. Once you will click, you have to give the name of the table. I will give table name as a table only. Okay, I, table emp I will give. I am giving name as a table emp. Now you can see before, by default it is creating a new column name C0, C1, C2, C3, C4. How you can change it? Here we have one option like first row is header. If you will select that, it will contain the first row as a header. Now whatever the first row was there, that is your column name. Okay, now if you can see the create in database name, you have to select file type, you have to select infer schema. Once you will click on the infer schema, it will based on the data, it will try to give you the schema, like the cell for salary it got selected as an integer, for location string, date, for date it considered as a string, but that is how actually it is considered. And if you want to change for the user also integer, you can do it. Okay, now if you will click on the create table, the table will be created. Now you can see one table is now created. If you can see sample data is this. Now let's see how we can read this. Now we have a table, right? To read that table, one easy way which I will show as of now, we can use the Spark SQL, where we can pass, we just have to pass the table name, like how actually we do in a SQL, right? Select star from the table name. That is how also we can do. And let me show you. Select star from table emp. Let's execute. It is executed successfully. Now if you want to see df.show, it will show you the table. We have a username, salary, location, date and attendance. So that is how, even if you can create a table and if you can read into a data format, and if you want to see your columns, you will get these are the columns are available. Okay, that is the second way. Now if you want to see Now we have already seen like how to create a data frame by using a dbfs file and by using a table. So if we have a table, we can directly create. Now we will see like how we can manually create a data frame. Okay, so suppose you have two lists. One list is a and b. A contain the 1 2 3 and b contain the 4 5 6. So we have one df spark dot create data frame. There actually you have to pass the a and b whatever the list you have, and once you will execute this, the data frame will get created. Okay, now after that the same process df dot show and all. This is the simple process. Now suppose if you want to perform some kind of the union, what I am doing, I am again creating one more data frame. Okay, I am giving name as a data frame name as a df1. Okay, so I have one df and I have one df1. Now if you want to do a union, we just have to write a df dot union df1, and let's give this as a df2. Okay, so what actually it is doing is like it is just unioning two data frame. Now if you will see df2 dot so, it will show all the records like AB and then AB, means it is doing a union of the DF and the DF1. Now we have seen like how we can read a CSV data. Okay, now suppose in real world you can have a multiple file. Usually you will get to see a Parquet file, CSV file and other file format. Avro is also one of the file format you will get to see. So in that scenario, how actually you can read the data. Okay, so for the CSV you can directly write the spark.read.csv, and if you will execute this, and after that if you will do df.so, that the data frame will be created, right? But now let's see like how we can read a different file format. So what actually you have to do for that, spark.read.format. Okay, what is your file format type? If it is CSV, then give in a comma dot CSV, then dot load. Spark.read.format CSV, whatever is file format CSV, and then dot load and the file location. If it is Parquet, then you have to give the Parquet. If it is other arrow, then you have to give the arrow. Okay, so this is how actually you can give a different file format and you can execute it. I'll give as a df1 and I will try to execute it. If I execute this, I will see df1 dot so, I will get the same result. So like this actually you can read a different format, even if it is arrow, if it is a CSV, if it is a Parquet, the same procedure we have to follow. Now we have seen like whenever we are reading a file, any kind of the file, and whenever we are loading, by default this column is getting created, even though we have a column name as a username, salary, option and all. So how we can handle that? Okay, to handle that, what we can do is like after that CSV, right, spark.read.format, after that we have to give the format name. After that, before loading, we can give a option, and here we can give header as a true and dot load. it is options. Okay, now if you will see df1 dot so, it will give you the proper result. Let me scroll up. Now you can see we have a user name and the salary, right? We got a username, salary, location and all. And if you want to see the columns also, you will get to see. Now let's see how you can do a filtering. So suppose this is a data frame which we have. Now if I want to filter only the name of the money, then how actually we can do a filtration? So we have one filter option available here. We have to write the data frame name and then dot filter and which column. So for which column it contained on the name column, right? And I am giving as a money. So this is a particular name which actually I wanted to filter. df1 the data frame name is df1, that's why I have given. And after that we have to show the data. If you will do it, actually will filter only the name of the money. So that is how actually we can use the filter. But if you see, only in this scenario only one thing actually I can filter. If I want to filter the name, only one name I am able to filter it. Suppose you have to filter and you have to give a condition of or, then how actually you can do it? So for that also we have one library available. Okay, that is from PySpark.sql.function we have to import a column. Okay, now let's see how actually we can use this. The syntax is df1.filter, the same. After that we have to give the call which we have imported, and after that the column name is name, and what actually I wanted to filter money, right? Okay, and after that this is the or condition I can give. Okay, this is the or condition. This pipe symbol is nothing but your or condition. After that same column attendance, where attendance is equal to yes. If you will do this and if you will show it, you will get a filter result where the name is equal to the money and attendance is equal to the yes. That actually only got filter it out, because if you can see the name of the Kishore is also got filter it out, because we have applied a or condition. Wherever the attendance is yes, either yes or either the name is money, that only is getting the filter it out. So that is how actually you can do a filtration. Okay, uh, let me give you another example. Suppose in the same scenario, if you want to filter it out the salary equal to the 10,000, let's see what we will get. uh, we will do the show also. Let's remove this data frame. You can see wherever the salary is 10,000 and the name is money, that actually is only we can see here. So it is very useful whenever you are doing any kind of the analysis. So this filter will be very useful. Okay, yeah. Now now let's see the sorting. So we have a df1 dot so, if I will do, we have a this data frame where we have a username, salary and all. Now suppose if I want to do a sorting, how we can do it? We have a df1 dot sort, the same df1 dot salary, if you will do, and if you will try to give the show based on the salary, actually it will filter because the null is also there. So but after that, if you will see based on the salary, it is actually sorting, right? So that is how actually you can use sorting also. So this filter and sorting is very useful whenever we are doing any kind of analysis, where actually it will be very useful. Now let's see how we can remove this null. So if you know like the field NA, the same like how actually we use in a data science also, in a Python also, dot fill NA, wherever the NA will be there, it will be filled with the this symbol. If I will do the so, you can see wherever the null was there, it actually got filtered with this dash. If I will do only the space, so it got replaced with the space, right? So that is how actually we can do a filter also, and filter, sort, and the filling the null value. Now let's see how we can apply a aggregation. Okay, so if you see, we have this data frame. Now if I want to do a sum of all the salary, how actually I can do? Okay, so we have one aggregated function AGG. After that, we have to pass the column name. Column name is salary, and it is like the dictionary way we have to pass it. And what actually you want to do? If you want to do a sum, then write a sum, and after that, just show it. Okay, so this is the sum of all the salary, you will get it. In a similar way, if you want to find out the maximum salary, you got it. 50,000 is your maximum salary. So whenever you want to do any kind of the aggregation, maximum, minimum, sum, so this kind of the aggregation you have to pass into a dictionary way. First you have to write a aggregate AGG, after that bracket, and after that you have to pass the column name and the aggregation which you want to perform, and then it will give you the result. Okay, suppose I want to find out the minimum salary. Okay, 10,000 is minimum salary. Let's see mean will work or not. So mean is also working. This is nothing but your average salary. So that is how actually you can use a aggregated function with the PySpark SQL. In the previous video, we have already seen like how we can use Python and PySpark. Now the same kind of the scenario and the table creation with the help of the Spark SQL, how we can do. So first we will see like how we can create a data frame using Spark SQL. After that, we will see like how we can create a table and how we can query that table with the help of Spark SQL query. After that, we will see like how we can create a temporary view and the view in with the help of the Spark SQL. After that, we will see the aggregation part, and after that we will see the analytics function, like how you can see the row number, rank, this kind of the analytics function which is mostly used in the real time. So that kind of the function we will see. Okay, let's open so if you see, this is your Databricks window. Okay, if you will see into the work, if you will see the create option, just click on the create. I'm going to create a new notebook is like SQL test. Okay, the language as of now I am selecting SQL, and the cluster is a POC. Okay, now you can see the same kind of the notebook has been created. Okay, now let's see. So for the data, as of now we have only the table employee data. If you want to query the table, select star. If you want to know like what are the tables are available, if you will do so tables, it will show you all the tables which is available. As of now only the table employee is available, so that is why it is showing a table employee. Okay, now you can write any kind of the query. It is same like the SQL. Select star from the table employee. I will get the this result. Here we have a user name, salary, location, attendance and all. Okay, now let's see the filtering how you can do. Suppose you want to get only the data whose salary is greater than 10,000. So where salary equal to the 10,000. So this is how you can apply a filter with the help of the where condition. Now if you see, you are getting only the data whose salary is greater than the 10,000. Now if you want to apply a sorting, how you can do? Select star from table order by salary, and based on the descending I want to do it. Order by salary descending. Now if you see, based on the descending order actually it is sorting. Record 50, 30, 20, 10 and all. Okay, so that is actually it is same like a SQL query. Okay, now the scenario is like I want to get the sum of the salary based on the location. Sum of the salary based on the location. Okay, how you will get it? Let's see the group by. So um, we have this table, right? Let's see what actually it contains. It contains the username, salary and the date. Now sum of salary based on the location. Select sum of salary, location from table employee, and I am grouping by the location. Now you can see India sum is 85,000, Canada sum is 50,000 and US sum is 60,000. You can see the null is also coming, so you can remove that null also. You can apply a where condition where location is not null. Now you are getting all the location and their sum of salary. Okay, the similarly if you want to find out the maximum salary based on the all the location, you can apply a max function. Okay, the India the maximum salary is 20,000, Canada 50,000 and US is 30,000. Okay, so that is how actually you can do it, we can do it. Now let's see the data. Now we have already seen the select, we have seen how we can filter it based on the where clause, and we have also seen the group by, we have also seen the order by, like how you can sort it. Okay, now let's see the how you can create a view. View is also very important because you will be creating a multiple view. On top of that you will play with the data. Okay, suppose I want one view which contain So suppose I have a table, okay, and this is the table. Now I want to get where salary greater than the 10,000 from select star from table. Table name is table emp. Now suppose this is the query which I am getting where the salary is greater than 10,000. Now whenever I require to get a greater than 10,000, I have to write this query, right, in this table. This is the main table. In the top of that I have to write this query. So suppose if you will create a view, so that actually will help to get the only the 10 greater than 10,000 view. So how you can create a view is like create or replace temp view, and the create or replace temp view and view name you have to give greater 10 as select star from this. So so it is very simple. Create or replace temp view greater than this is the view name you have to give, and whenever you will do select star from this greater than, it will show you the greater than 10,000 salary. So this is the one view actually got created, and whenever I require to get the greater than 10,000 salary, I can get it from here. So view is very important because if you want to do an analysis from the particular part from that table, so for that actually whenever we write a big query, so we actually try to split into a small query and we try to create a view. So that is how actually it is very useful. Okay, so this is like temporary view we have created. If you want to create a original view, so you have to remove the view temp. Okay, create a replaced view. So syntax is almost same. Okay, now view also we have seen. Now suppose in this particular table from this view, you can see we have a salary, right, and we have a user like 24562 and null. What actually I want to create a new salary column that is nothing but a cumulative sum. So based on the user, actually it will sum up the cumulative sum it will give. Like suppose it is 20,000 is there, the next will be 20,000 plus 15,000, that will be a 35,000. 35,000 plus 20,000 is 55,000. So that is how actually I want to get the cumulative sum. So how actually we can get it that? So for that we can write select sum of salary. We have a over clause partition by user I am doing. Okay, order by salary. Okay, or order by user I can do, and I don't need a partition from this view. And I can give as a cumulative sum name and the star. Now if you will see, if you will execute what actually this query is doing, it is doing this based on the user. Actually it is doing a sum of the salary. Now if you see for the null, the salary is 50,000 only. For the two, for the user 2, we have a 20,000 plus 20,000, that is an 40,000, right? So 50,000 plus 40,000 it is doing, and it is showing 90,000. Here also the user is same, so that's why we are showing as a 90,000. In the next step, for the user 4, we have salary is 50,000. So it is doing a sum, and we are getting a 1,05,000. For the user file, salary is 20,000. Again, it is doing a sum 1,25,000. For the user 6 also, it is doing a sum of 30,000. So it is summing up. We are getting 1,55,000. So this is very important question from the internet interview perspective, because in interview usually people ask how actually you can calculate a cumulative sum. So whenever they ask for the cumulative sum, this is the best approach you can follow. We just have to do the sum of salary and order by, means based on the which you want to sort it. I sorted based on the salary and from whatever the table you have, and it will automatically doing the sum. Okay. Now if you will see here, we are getting some kind of the duplicate record also, right? In this view, from greater 10 view, let me first execute this. Select star from greater 10. Now in this table, if you will see, you are getting a duplicate record also. 2 is repeated 2 times. So if you want to know what are the duplicate record is there, how actually you can get it. Okay, so let's see how actually we can find out. So we have one function row number. What row number does is like, it will create a rank. It will give you a row number and rank of the, based on the scenario. Suppose I am doing a partition by user. So what partition by means, it is a grouping a user. All the user it will group. So 2 and 2 will be grouped together. Okay. And I'm giving order by salary. Okay. SRN from table EMP, and I want to get the record. Okay, this is the particular syntax we have to follow. Table name is the mistake. This is the syntax we have to follow. Okay. Now if you will see here, not from this table, I think we have a greater 10 table view. Greater 10. Okay. Now in this view, we have a 2 is repeated 2 times, right? So what actually it does is like, for the first record it is giving rank 1. The same record whenever it is duplicating, it is giving as a rank 2. Because 4 is only repeating one time, that's why it is giving rank 1. 5 is also coming one time, so that's why it is giving 1. 6 is also coming one time, that's why it is giving 1. Now from this query we can filter it out. We can apply a ranking function. We can filter it out wherever the rank is 1. That is how actually we can remove the duplicate record, right? So we have one CTE function. Okay. Under CTE, what I will do, I will select star from CTE where Rn equal to the 1. Now wherever, so it removed the duplicate record. Now we can see only one time, we can see the 2 records. So that is how actually, this is also important question from the interview perspective. Usually they ask like how you can remove the duplicates and all. So this is how actually we can remove. Okay. So the syntax only we have to remember, the row number over partition means based on which you want to group it, order by what order actually you want to sort it, and rank. So based on the partition and order, actually it will give the rank. If it is same, then it will give the 1 2 3. If it is unique, then it will give only the one, and after that we can do a filter by rank equal to the one. Okay. Yeah, so that is how actually you can use any kind of the SQL function based on your need. So here in Databricks we have a flexibility. Either you can go for the PySpark Python, or either you can write directly a Spark SQL. Okay. Learning library, how we can use into the PySpark and the Spark. So in a Spark documentation itself, they have maintained a very good definition. They have maintained everything how we can use a machine learning library over here. Even in the real time, also everyone use this documentation whenever they are going to develop any kind of the model things and all. So this link I will share with you, and if you will see here in the left side, the basic statistics, how we can import a data source. So if you will see here, if you will click how actually we can find out the correlation. So the code is given into the Scala, Java, and a Python. What are the library actually we need to import? Everything is maintained properly. So that is how actually we can go through and we can use it. Even if you want to perform some kind of the hypothesis testing, chi-square test, summarizer. Okay. Now let's coming to the transformation. If you want to perform any kind of the transformation like the TF-IDF, you want to convert into a vectorization form like the TF-IDF and the word to web we have seen, right? Count vectorizer how actually work into the local system, but into the distributed environment how actually you want to do. If you will click in the TF-IDF, in the bottom you will get the code for the Scala, Java, and the Python. So here based on the example also they have maintained very good in good documentation, I would say. Like, so this already we have seen like how we can create a data frame, right? the First they are creating a data frame, after that they are using a tokenizer, after that they are transforming, and after that they are converting into the vector form. Similarly, for the classification and regression, suppose you want to train the model, and if you want to perform a if you want to predict something, so for the all the algorithm they have maintained a proper documentation like the logistic regression, linear regression, and all. If I'll click on the logistic regression, the code is given in the Scala, Java, Python, and all. And whatever the library they are importing, that also is maintained properly. And how actually they are using logistic regression, they are fitting it, and after that they are passing a parameters, and after that they are training it, and after that they are testing it. So everything is maintained very properly. Similarly we have for the clustering also, right? So we have already seen like how we actually create a data frame and all. After that, if you want to develop any kind of the machine learning things and all, we can go through this documentation, and we can build it because the code and everything is given properly. We just have to go through and we have to use it. Yeah, that's it from this video.